Greetings. So this video is going to be about how I made my Deathguard and my Traitor Astra Militarum Imperial Guard. Basically taking normal Imperial Guard models that were looking around in my bits boxes and stuff like that. So we got a couple of Katachan. We've also got Cadian, which seems to be good enough neck, and what looks like to be some either captain or commander or commissar. We've got a Primaris without its head. We've got a couple of these Mark IV Space Marines. Also someone to lead them. It's Chaplain. We've also got a couple of odds and ends. I couldn't find a Dreadnought, so we are going to make a Hellbrute out of whatever I can find in the box. Got a plasma cannon, some odds and ends. So for bits I use everything. Wristbands, these little spike things, this horn, this spear, box of loose Tyranid bits, some blades. Doing these, I use this, a soldering iron. It's very hot and dangerous. Be careful. Also makes fumes. Space Marine does not like soldering iron. Some well ventilated, mask on, all that jazz. And then we can use this to melt the plastic, as long as it is plastic. I just start making mouths and all sorts of crazy little things so it looks funny. Tyranid bits, like I'm gonna nick his tail for a tentacle. I'm gonna snip these bits off and nick a leg, because why not? Let's remove this guy's leg. Let's melt the hip. Make sure it's nice and malleable. And now I'm going to glue this in. I'm going to use the soldering iron then to work the top of the joint into the leg and make it look like it's rotting out of it. Let's snap this gun off. I'm going to cut this arm off. Heat up the elbow. Stick in this now called the tentacle. Bit of glue. Put this flamer on. Heat up this old tail, now tentacle, and bend it round. After a couple more bends, voila, I'm just tidying up. Now I can attack this arm and make it look like it's a gouge inside of it. This backpack I can also heat up and make it look like it's drooling. That's one I done in between with the pipe. Here's the Chaplain. I'm going to cut his arm off at the wrist there, and then just get this spear instead. So I heat up his wrist. Make sure this arm's got a nice little point to it, and just shove it in. Give it a couple seconds for it to cool down. Wiggle it then, and then break free, because the plastic will not hold each other. Put a bit of glue in there and it should be a nice snug fit. Now we're just going to run the side of the blade in through the cape around the cape and just score it, damage it. That one tip though, where I put the holes in, I'm trying to make it look like a bit of flesh is stuck to it. Also get the backpack as well, make sure they're nice and weepy. That's after a couple of minutes of work. I also shoved a skull through its helmet to make it look like it's forced down. Now this guy, this Primaris, we're going to get this Gene Stealer's head. Put it there. But add a bit of material in, so we're going to use a glue gun. I love the glue gun. It's brilliant for jobs like this. So we're just going to pour it in there. Another tool which is very hot to not be taken lightly. You don't want to burn yourself. By moving it around, I'm agitating it to harden it up quicker. So now I'm burning the backpack to insert a couple of spikes. I want to make it look like it's rotted and flesh pushed them out. So I'm going to push this in for a couple of seconds just to get the groove and then pull it back out. Start on the other one, get that one done the same way, and then put glue in both and it should hold it nice and snug. Cut the arm off and do the same kind of thing we've done with the tentacle just now. So cut this guy's hand off as well to use that. I am only pointing out some of the points I've done. A lot of these models I've just gone right around it and scored, slashed, add little bits here and there, done damage to the armor and whatnot. So this guy's got a bit on the end of the gun. I would melt that off and use the tip of the soldering iron just to indent it to make it look like it's all worn and decayed as well. But here we go. Pulled the hand back out because it made a nice socket. Put glue in there, put it back in. Oh, this poor guardsman. Right, yeah. So I started on his face using just the very tip of the soldering iron. I was able to score his face and make it look completely wrecked. Doesn't look too happy now. His arm, I score it, but make sure I pull it downward to make it look like stuff's coming out of it and it's fleshy and gooing out. Same with the knee. Do the same kind of thing. Or score it in to make sure you got all that stuff coming out of the leg. I know it's pretty gory like, but the shoulder, 3 dots. I've done this on all the Deathguard models as well. Quick and simple. Now I'm just doing some scoring here and there, but oh, this guy, this Kai-chan. Yeah, we wanted to give him 2 heads. So, soldering iron again. I'm just going to aim for right on next to the head. It will just heat up, and I can just push them together in a short period of time, and I'll pull it off. Now it's made the perfect little shape for it now, so I can put the little drop of glue in and just hold it for a few seconds, and voila. I will go back later and tidy it all up, but now I've just attacked his arm to make it just look like, you know, flesh changed. This poor guy, yep, he's getting an implant. Give him a couple of seconds. Voila. I pulled that out and then glued it back in though as well. Same with this now. Yeah. Each one of these I pull back out and I re-glue inside. You just gotta wait for it to cool down. And there's me scoring the face just slightly at the bottom of the screen there. Here we go. I've used 2 bits of legs, which are Gene Stealer bodies, and now I found the midsection for Dreadnought. So the hips are going on there. I'm adding more glue, and this glue now will actually be muscle mass. So here's me playing around with this stick, agitating it, and making sure it gets into all the places I want it to. And now I'm just going to stick these guards on his legs. So I've got a nice bone shape on the back of the legs. Now this a sponson off the side of a Lehman Russ to try and make part of the body, and a sprue, a bit of tubing to hold it to the body and to the hip joint, the mid-center and the hip joints. I'm using anything that comes to hand now just to fill in gaps. I'll put a bit of glue down, and then I'll fill the gaps up, and then I'll put some more bits in, minding your fingers because this stuff is boiling hot. And trying to put the bottom of the jaw and the bottom of the sarcophagus of the Dreadnought on. Just trying to build it up a little bit at a time. Now I'm trying to put a bit of muscle mass around the joint now of the body on the outside by the arm, using the stick now just to work it all in. Now I'm just attacking the end of this arm because I want a hand coming through it, so it's kind of like it's all fleshed up. So this is the hand. Yep. There we go, pull it off. It's a nice little socket now. Put a bit of glue in there, stick it back on. Now I'm filling, because it was hollow, this arm, I'm filling it up with glue just to because it's going to be up, you're going to see it easier. Now I'm joining the 2 parts of the body together, the legs and the torso. So main shape's done. I'm putting more glue on the back, and what I'll do then is play around with the stick and just play with it and keep it nestled where I want it. It will try to flow everywhere. If you keep on messing around with it, it will eventually just stick to where it is. But it will go tackier and tackier. You just gotta know when to stop. Practice. Put a bit more glue on the top now, so I can put this random barrel that I just had the urge to shove on top for reasons. And now I'm going to tuck some more glue in here to support the barrel, and also just to fill it out a little bit more because I wanted it to like be more demonic, so the whole thing's more flashy inside, so we can hide some of those sprues and bits I shoved in there. Top part of the sarcophagus can go in by there now. Now chopping all the faces off the Space Marine heads. And now, after putting a bit of glue on that one section again, I am now putting all the faces in random places, all in that gap of the Dreadnought. Oh, sorry, Hellbrute. I've been using hot glue for years. It's an absolute treat for this kind of stuff. Right, I put a little bit on here just so I can get the kind of shape I want to go for. So I'm just negotiating with it until it goes a bit more tacky. And then I'm going to burn into this. I've put a peg already on the other arm so it can just hold where I want it, so I can get the shape of it right. And then I just pour the glue in. Try and let it flow where I want it. Here I'm scoring and damaging the blade to make it look even more nurgle-fied. Now I'm attacking the leg guards with soldering iron to make it look more nurgly. cut, and I'm just going to make a hole, insert tube, make another hole. By the way, I am gluing these in as well. This is a random piece of like part I found. I just made into a exhaust because I couldn't find any exhausts that looked right, so I just grabbed this as it had a tube and a tip. So I made the tip into an exhaust. We just put more glue down so we can pull it over and makes it look like flesh has grown around it. And once all that is done, we use a good old-fashioned heat gun to get some of those stringy bits that glue guns are terrible for. And buckle in the barrel as well with these heat guns are really good for this. You can actually melt, warp flat panels and barrels and stuff like that, so you can kind of like make it look dinged and danged, heat warped. But yeah, this is the first of 2 videos. The next one will just be a very quick way, easy way, lazy way to paint these that I could just chuck these together to get on the tabletop. So this is just going to remove all those little stringy bits from the hot glue gun, which is a godsend. Sometimes if you want to keep the stringy bits, that's all cool. You can keep them. But I sometimes like to get rid of the majority of them. But yeah, hope that's helped with some people's crazy ideas when it comes to making Deathguard or nurgle monstrosities. And thanks for watching.